Okay, so this is part 2 of the Black Sacred Chakra, and we're going to pick up where we left off. We're going to jump right in, so grab your workbooks and let's go. If you don't have your workbook, get it on the website. So let's move on to suppression of our emotions, right? It's only the suppression of pleasure that creates a need for overindulgence. And so then this overindulgence turns a simple pleasure into pain. So what that means is when we don't allow ourselves to experience the pleasure that we desire, it will find a way to manifest differently. And usually it becomes in a bad, unhealthy manner. So reproduction and sexuality are considered to be classic functions of the sacred, the Yemaya energy center. So, like water, sexuality is fluid. And that's why our bodies are mostly made of water. And that's why we live in a womb full of water, because that is the fluidity that is life. Nurturance is another aspect of the second chakra. The simple act of touch is extremely important. So the skin is the outer layer of our nervous system. Our skin is the outermost layer of our nervous system. So nurturance or touch helps control the production of our hormones. Did you know that? Now, if you're going through PMS or menopause or any type of hormonal fluctuation, I know that's the time you don't want to be bothered the most. And that's the time your spouse probably don't want to be bothered with you. But touch at that time is extremely important. It will help to regulate your hormones. So now let's talk about being an empath. Empaths have the ability to sense and feel the emotions of others. If empaths do not learn to control this, then their emotions will begin to match with the emotions of others. And that creates a problem. So awareness of others must be balanced with an awareness of ourself, which brings me to my next point. The most complex manifestation of the sacred chakra is socialization. Socialization. The first chakra is about survival, but as survival, as the human race is so important, right? So let me rephrase that. The first chakra is about survival, our personal survival. I need to live, I need to eat, I need to breathe, I need to be protected. That is a first chakra function. But as survival evolves, it evolves into a second chakra thing, which is about human survival or human social interaction. And human social interaction is extremely important, whether it's professional or platonic or romantic relationships, all reside here. Pleasure and its gratification are often dependent upon social approval, right? So this is where all that social stuff believes what we believe is right to do or wrong to do and how it's socially accepted all come into play. Now let's meet Yemaya and Anubis, because we've been talking about them throughout this little course. Yemaya is the African goddess of the sea. And when you see Yemaya, she's most often associated with the color blue because she is associated with the color of the sea. But when we talk about the 13 energy centers, we talk about the elements, right? The elements are important as well. So she becomes associated with the second chakra or the sacred chakra because it's about water. She is the great mother. She is the nurturer, the healer. She is the maternal one. Okay. She is the African goddess of the sea. And that's why she is associated with the second chakra. And then we have my boy Anubis over here. Anubis is the protector of the Nile, the guardian of the Nile. And we all know the Nile River is water. His job is to make sure nothing disrupts the flow of the Nile. So that's why he is a second chakra deity. By the way, in your workbook, there are some assignments around this. Find it in your workbook. So let's talk about the different ways issues can show up, including physically, etherically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Excuse me. Oh, went too fast. So an overactive sacred chakra can manifest on a physical level in many different forms. And here are some of the examples. You might experience sexual addiction, substance abuse, frequent urination, urinary bladder problems, constipation, multiple miscarriages, PMS, low blood sugar, anemia, kidney or spleen problems, or impotence. Right? These are all associated with having an overactive sacred chakra. The etheric imbalances look like when you now remember your etheric body holds the memory of your feelings. So an issue with the sacred chakra might mean that you lose touch with yourself or that you feel numb, right? You just feel numb to everything. Okay. And then an overactive second chakra will manifest on a mental level if it's imbalanced in the form of arrogance, being manipulative, having a bipolar disorder, or suffering from panic attacks. An overactive emotional second chakra looks like anxiety and fear, excessive emotionality, mood swings, hypersensitivity. You might be ruled by your feelings, have an addiction to pleasure, socializing and partying too much, drinking excessively, giving your energy away easily, or sleeping around with too many different people. Okay, that's what an overactive second chakra looks like. Um, Anxiety are present. When we talk about anxiety and fear, they are present in any chakra that is unbalanced. But in the second chakra, anxiety comes from feelings of being stuck in a particular mood, right? Just being stuck in a depressed mood, or you want to, it's like you almost want to be depressed. You want to be sad. You want to be mad, being stuck in that mood, right? And fear in the sacral chakra represents as self-sabotage and a fear of pleasure. The excessive emotions and mood swings come across as experiencing emotions more strongly than other people do, right? Or thriving on conflict and drama. Okay, so remember that anxiety and fear and mood swings can be experienced in any of the energy centers, but this is how it shows up in this particular one. And then if you have an overactive second chakra, you might have spiritual imbalances that cause you to live in a fantasy world or that cause you to be very dogmatic. So how can we heal an overactive sacral chakra? First, we have to drain some of that excessive emotional energy to create the space for other energies. So creative energy is necessary. Creative energy is a second chakra thing, and we need that creative energy. But the other energies that reside in the other energy centers are important as well. So an overactive chakra can be healed by creating a routine and sticking to it, by working on the first and the third chakras, because those are the neighbors. And to make sure the vortexes are open on both of those is great. Spend time alone, go to a spa or to places where there's lots of water. Try yoga or Tai Chi, burn off excessive energy with aerobic exercises, and then set limits for yourself. If you know you're the type that does way too much, start to set limits for yourself on a day by day basis, right? If you drink way too much Chardonnay, I'm talking to myself, each day I have to say, today I'm only going to drink this much Chardonnay. Okay? Now let's talk about having a blocked yimaya. If you have a blocked EMEI, there might be some physical symptoms like fertility problems, sexual arousal disorders, having a nervous stomach, being stiff in your body, having bladder infections, kidney stones, an irregular menstrual period, or lower back pain. And then again, with the etheric, you just lose touch, right? Whether it's overactive or it's underactive, etheric will manifest the same. And that just means you lose touch with yourself and you lose touch with others. Mentally blocked yimiya will manifest in the form of being easily frustrated, not being able to cope with changes, staying in a codependent relationship, and particularly being codependent in an unhealthy relationship. And then communication problems with children. If you just can't talk to kids for whatever reason, that means you have a blocked yimiya. Now, emotional symptoms look like uh, somebody who has a childlike effect. And I didn't put that one on there, but if anybody who seems to be like a child, carry themselves like a child, act like a child, make movements and gestures like a child would, that is indicative of a blocked yimiya. Or the type of person who sits in front of a computer all the time. And I know some of us work in front of the computer, but I mean, whether you're working or not, that's where you find yourself with spending all of your free time. If you don't have a circle of friends, if you have strict routines, if you're not very creative, if you stay home all the time, if you have a fear of relationships, a fear of commitment, if you are emotionally cold, if you have shallow relationships, and an inability to experience pleasure, then you might have an emotional block. Spiritual blocks, you might feel isolated, you might feel unattractive. Now, let me talk about that for a second. The real attraction in being attractive is energy. Energy is the real attraction. So if you feel unattractive, it's because there's an energy blockage there. And when that energy can express itself, other people won't find you attractive. Now, don't misunderstand attractive for being pretty or what you might consider beautiful, because there are a lot of beautiful women in the world who are not attractive and people will not approach. Okay. The inability to create connections with mentors and teachers, the rejection of spiritual ideas based on an emotional response is indicative of a spiritual block. So, how can we heal a blocked sacral chakra? Well, we can drink plenty of fluids and eat orange foods. We can purposefully do pleasurable things. We can immerse ourselves in water, take baths, take showers, drink lots of water, spend time at the beach or the lake or wherever. Just find some water. Find somebody to hug, share hugs, and find someone to talk to about your feelings. Feelings. Talk to someone about your feelings. Create something that will help to open up your sacral chakra, second chakra. Listen to music. Look someone you love directly in the eyes. And even if you don't love them, eye contact is an excellent way to open up this energy center. And participate in healthy sexual relationships and learn to move gracefully. This chakra generates your impulse to create. So, like writing or music, art, dancing, scrapbooking, or decorating, um, any type of creation, anything you create, right, is generated here. A healthy sacral chakra shows up in a person who can become passionately absorbed in their work or their hobbies, passionately absorbed, like to the exclusion of everything else. You just lose yourself in creating something. That will help your second chakra. That's indicative of a healthy second chakra. So in general, you balance your sacral chakra by doing comfort zone challenges, meaning get out of your comfort zone. Make a fool of yourself sometimes. Don't give power to your emotions. Talk to random strangers. Socialize often. Like make it a point to socialize twice a week. And then prioritize fun in your life. We always act like we have to get this work done, get the work done, get the work done. If that's you, you need to quit tripping. Prioritize fun. Schedule it in. Say 2 days a week, I'm going to make sure I just have a good time. Hanging out with your homies, laughing at the comedy club. Find a way to prioritize fun. And then we can specifically heal this chakra a couple of ways. Now remember, the root chakra is about connecting to earth, but the sacred chakra is about connecting with water. Rivers, lakes, streams, baths, saunas, showers, like I mentioned earlier, are all great. Wear orange. Surround yourself with orange, 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 orange. Carry your sacred affirmation cards that are available on the website. I love those, you guys. You just keep them in your pocket, in your purse, and you rock with it. Now, aromatherapy is an excellent way. Again, we sell the infused, I think a citrine infused sacred chakra oil on the website. But some other scents you can use are bergamot, which is good for mild depression, citrus, which is good for mood and emotional balance, clary sage, which is a natural antidepressant, jasmine will heighten your sexual desires, orange will help you to fight anxiety, patchouli helps to relax the mind, rose is good for self-confidence and self-esteem, and then sandalwood is good to help you to relax. And then crystal therapy is excellent. Amber is a great stone because it absorbs negative energy. Carnelian is good. It energizes the lower chakra and it enhances creativity. Coral helps you to overcome fear and nervousness. So listen, you don't have to get all of these, just like with the oils. Find the one that you think you need the most and get that, or buy the blend on my website. Okay, where was I? Coral, we did coral. Gold topaz is good. And then, did I do orange? Orange is good. It helps to boost vitality. And calcite is good for helping to boost vitality as well. And then there are two other ones on there. Actually, just moonstone. Moonstone is not in the color family, but it is in the frequency family. So you can wear moonstone, which I love. Listen, I keep carnelian, calcite, and moonstone. Those are my go-tos. They work for me. So find the ones that work for you. But moonstone helps you to open up the emotional self. Really, really good for that. And then food therapy. In your workbook, you have the little chart there. That's amazing. I just take that with me when I'm grocery shopping if I'm working on the root chakra to make sure I buy all the orange foods or seasonings or spices I can think of. But anything orange, carrots, orange peppers, pumpkin, buttersquash, sweet potatoes, oranges, and then other foods that vibrate with the frequency are like coconuts, coriander, cinnamon, fennel, sesame seed, peaches, nectarines, apricots, they're all good. And then the liquids. Think orange foods and all the liquids your stomach can handle. The sacred chakra is associated with water, which passes through the body, right? It's fluid. It passes through the body. So the root chakra is about earth and standing still and being grounded. The second chakra is about being fluid with whatever happens to you as you're standing firmly. You're able to move with it, adjust with it. And if you aren't able to do that, you will find yourself fighting imbalances that people call disease. So that was this one. And next week, we're going to be moving on to the Oshun Ra Solar Plexus Energy Center. Looking forward to it. And thanks again. Don't forget to email me any questions that you might have that I didn't cover or I didn't cover well enough. And I'm happy to answer. Sending peace and blessings, light and love, and wishing you all the very best in health.